to start off class today, I just wanted to start off with um, some things that God kind of downloaded onto my heart today. So, the very first thing God said to me during our quiet time today was that I was loved. And I just felt like I can't be the only one who struggles with feeling loved, not only by God, but by others. So, if that's you, if you relate to this at all, I just want to remind you as well that you are also loved. Um, and then when we were talking, I was talking about body image and how it always feels like you're never the right size. I always got to lose 10 pounds, or I got to do this or that to fit into whatever society says I'm supposed to look like. I need thinner thighs, the thigh gap, whatever they say these days. And I said, God, what do you say? What do you say about me? And he gave me the verse 2 Corinthians 5:9. So I looked it up because I didn't know offhand what that was. And he said, so whether we are here in this body or away from this body, our goal is to please him. I thought, that is not what I was expecting from what I just asked. I asked, like, how do I get there? How do I, limit my calories? How do I work out enough? How do I, I wanted like steps to how am I going to maintain this body image that the world tells me to have? And God's answer was so simple. Basically, it's not about your body being perfect or looking a certain way. It's about using your body, the temple that he has provided you with, as a way to please him. And so that's what I'm doing today. I'm going to work my body as hard as I can, not because I need to burn those extra calories or because I'm mad that I had too many sweets yesterday, which maybe I did, maybe I didn't. That's not the point. The point is that we're here to work ourselves, to push ourselves to the brink. Because that's what I like. I like getting to the brink. I'm just going just a little bit further. And so I hope you do too. And that's where we're going to start today with our warm up. Just quick equipment. Chair nearby, because we are doing one move that requires it for balance. If you don't have a chair, a wall will work for the move we're doing. Otherwise, we are doing tricep dips today. So if you don't have a chair, you can do them on the floor. I'll show those quickly on the floor if you don't have it. But otherwise, if you do have everything and you're ready to go, we shall get started with that warm up. All right, we're gonna swing that arm. Other way. Excellent. Other side. It doesn't matter which direction you go because we're going to go both ways. Go ahead, switch. My headband is already falling off my head. All right. If you want to add a little step touch, you can. We're going to crisscross those arms in front. Loosen up that shoulder a little bit here. So I really want you to cross in front real big and open big too. All right, we're gonna push it up. Go wide, push it up. You can keep that step touch going. All right, we're gonna push it forward. Like you're pushing it away from you. Out of my face. Get out of here. All right, push it back. Bending those elbows only, pushing those arms back. So we're warming up the triceps here. Great job. All right, we're gonna go to jumping jack. Option to stay here and just focus on the arms, or come here. We're just trying to get that whole body warmed up. Get those bigger muscles involved. right, we're gonna step and we're gonna reach. So we're warming up that torso right now too. So really twist. Check out my feet. Like I'm squashing a bug with my toe as I twist. That'll help take that pressure off your knee. All right, push it down. Same thing. You're just pointing down this time. Really reach it across though. All right, I want you to come to the edge of your mat, walk it over. We're gonna walk those hands down, come to the edge of our mat, come down to your knees, take those hands wide, 3 push-ups here. All right, last one, and then I want you to walk those hands back to the feet, roll it up, just give those shoulders a little bit of roll, then switch directions with the roll, and then walk it back down. Walk it out all the way till you're in a plank position, then drop down to your knees, keeping those hands narrow. Give me 3 tricep push-ups on your knees. Why on our knees? Because we're in the warm-up. All right, push it to a downward facing dog. I just want you to tap your shoulders here. So you're not in a full-on plank, you're more of a down dog. We're just warming up those shoulders here. Excellent. Walk those hands back to the feet. Great job. Roll it up. Woo. All right, we're going to go swimming. You can come towards me if you want. You don't have to. All right, back stroke. You can do whatever you want with the feet. I'm kind of dancing my little step touch here. All right, we are gonna pull it back. Open up that chest. So I really want you to pull those elbows back. All right, we're about to end our warm up. We're gonna grab our chair right away. We've got tricep dips up first. So go ahead, grab your chair. So remember, if you don't have a chair, you can always come down to the ground, come into a reverse tabletop, bend the elbows, and lift them up. Same idea as using the chair. If you ever want to make this more challenging, you can throw a weight on your hips to start with. Personally, I find these to be quite challenging, all on their own. So you just come off the edge of your chair, lower yourself down and lift yourself up. Check out that bend in my elbow. Bend, straighten. Great job, you look great. Try and get down as low as you can. Try and get almost a 90-degree angle in that elbow. So you could just go to here, but if you can, lower it all the way down before you push it up. Great job. 2, 1, and rest. All right, you got a little rest. You can shake out the arms a little bit. Here's your quick reminder. You are loved, despite what the world says. Here we go. We're going to hold it isometric. So right here. So some people might find that this is way too hard. Holding it static the whole time if you need to. You can always release for a second and come right back down. Work your way up to the full 40 seconds. All I ask is that if you take that little break, that you come right back down, because you're never going to build that strength if right when you get to that point where it's getting a little bit too tough, you give up. So when it gets a little too tough, rest. Show those arms. You can do it. We're going to pulse next. Remember, Your body is capable of a lot more than your mind thinks it is. All right, here we go, pulses. It all comes down to mindset. What are you willing to force the body to do? It's gonna be uncomfortable, but get comfortable being uncomfortable. You might say, Sarah, who the heck is comfortable in their uncomfortable state? Nobody. But that's where we make those changes. That's where we build that strength. Woo! It's burning bad. 2, 1, rest. All right, I know that burned. Shake it out. All right, you don't need your chair for the next one. You won't need it for a while. So we can go far off to the side. Next move, grab your heavier weights. We're gonna do a chest fly on the floor. If you have a nice bench, go ahead and lay on your bench. My bench is so small, I barely fit on it that I'm not gonna bother. But you sure can. All right, so lay down on your back. Palms face in each other, towards each other. Okay, here we go. Open up. Squeeze together at the top. Open wide. Squeeze together at the top. Just like that, you're doing great. It's funny, I don't remember doing any upper body workouts this weekend. But, man, my arms are sore. What is going on? I must have done something. I went running, so I know my legs are sore. But I've got no idea where the arm soreness is coming from.
3,
2, 1, rest. All right. The next one, you've got 2 options. You can just slow it down. So maybe count to 4 up, 4 down. Or you can hold it here, where you're hovering above the ground in an isometric hold.
isometric.
So isometric, you'd be here. Your elbows your arms do not touch the floor. You're hovering those weights above. Maybe you don't like isometric. Maybe you just like to move. Then you would come up and down and count to 4 up, count 4 down. That's how slow I want it. A full 4 count, a full 4 count up and down. If you can though, stay with me here in the isometric hold. It works those muscles so much differently than when you're moving them. 2, 1, rest. And you'll feel that. It feels different, right? Okay, we've got pulses next. So you have that option of 3, 2, 1, up, or just hold your pulse at the bottom. You pick. There's no right or wrong. As long as you're using good form, you can pick whatever option you want. So you can do 3, 2, 1, up, 3, 2, 1, up, or stay here with me and really challenge that chest muscle. So when you're pulsing, you're trapping all that blood in the muscle. It works it differently than when you are moving through it. Woo! Little one-ish movement up and down. Rest. Woo! Excellent. We're going back to triceps. We've got skull crushers next. So you can opt to use one weight and just bend the elbow, lift it up, holding the weight in both hands. Or you can use 2 weights, holding the palms facing together, bending the elbows, straightening it up. You also have the option, like you're holding onto a barbell and doing it that way. Personally, I don't like doing it that way, but you certainly can if that feels better for you. Here we go. So all it is me bending my elbow, straightening it up. Again, if you wanted to just use one weight, maybe you only have really heavy weights, and you want to just use one, you would just hold it like I am, bend the elbows down and lift it up. My weights aren't too heavy, so I'm going to stick with 2 weights. 2, 1, rest. That was a great job. All right, next move, you're going to hold it. It's just going to hover above your head, isometric hold. So maybe this makes you nervous. If you're holding 2 weights, you can hold them out a little bit wider than your head if that makes you nervous holding it there. I get it. Like, the move is literally called skull crushers. So I could see where holding a weight above your head might make you a little nervous. Also, you have the option to just slowly move through the movement. Anytime we do isometric, you're going to have that option to slowly move through it. But it's up to you which one you want to take. I'm usually going to do the isometric. Wrist. Woo! My triceps are not happy right now. That was hard. So if that felt hard for you, we're in good company. Pulses are next. Now remember, you can do 3, 2, 1, up. Or just keep pulsing here. Little 1-inch movement. Maybe because we're pulsing, that's too heavy, and you want to just switch to 1 weight and pulse here. That's a great option. That way you're still challenging yourself, but there's no risk that you might incapacitate yourself. Hopefully I never do that while I'm teaching, because that'd be real awkward. You'd be wondering, is she gonna get back up? 2, 1, rest. Excellent. All right, we got chest press next. So the last time you were flying your arms open, this time your palms are gonna be facing away from you. You're gonna have arms wide, like you're making a goal post with your arms, and then you're gonna push it up narrow, go wide to goal post. Whatever weight you were using for chest flies, you can use the same weight for chest press. You may even go a little heavier. I find I can go a little heavier for chest presses than I can for flies. Here we go. And that just comes down. Here we go, chest press to lever length. So if you notice here, for the most part, my elbows are bent. They straighten as I push up. But with that chest fly, you've got that long arm the whole time. So I would imagine that's why it feels a little tougher. Woo! Three, 2, 1, rest. All right, just like before, you can hold it isometric or you can move through it slowly. If you want to, in between, just kind of swing the arms, get that blood moving through those muscles again. All right, here we go. So check it out. I don't know how this shows up on camera, but my arms are really close to the mat, but they are not touching it. That's where yours should be. Maybe you don't like isometric, in which case you'd count to 4 up, 4, 3, 2, 1, down, okay? But if you can, I'm going to challenge you to hold isometric if you're able to. But moving slowly through it is still just as challenging, so don't feel like you're doing less than. Rest. Woo! That blood flowing, swing those arms around. We've got pulses next, so either 3 and up or just pulse. It's just a little 1-inch movement up and down. All right, here we go. Do me a favor. Check in with your core right now. So I want you to make sure your inner core, that transverse abdominal, that is braced right now. Think of pulling a corset together and pulling it really tight, and then pulling your belly button down towards your spine. Oh my goodness, this is burning like major. Woo! We got this. 2, 1, and rest. Are your arms dead? Mine are dead. Are they moving? I was a little worried they weren't going to move after that. All right, the next one, you've got 2 options. I'm going to show you the more advanced option first. More advanced option, you're going to come up to a plank. You're going to row, kick back, row. So for the first set, you're going to just alternate, row, kick back, row, kick back. If that's too much for you, just do kickbacks for me. Here we go. And maybe it bothers your wrist to do that. You can always come down to your knees. So you row it up, bend the elbow, drop it down. Lift it up, kick it back, drop it down. Row it up, kick it back, drop it down. So maybe that's too much for you. You can lean it forward and just focus on the kickbacks. Rest. So I want you to make this work for you. So for round 2, we're just going to do the same thing, but we're going to slow it down. So you're going to slowly lift it up, hold for a second, slowly kick it back, slowly bring it in. Here we go. I missed that timer. So it's the same exact movement. It's just slow. You can be on your knees. You can be on your toes. Maybe you plant your hand, kick it up, lower down, and then switch hands like that. Or you can keep your hand on the weight. For me, it does not feel good to keep my hand on the weight. Rest. But if it feels okay to you, go ahead and do it. So this time, row it up, pulse it 3 times, bring it back, other side. Here we go. So how does that look? Row it up, 3, 2, 1, drop it down. Row it up, 3, 2, 1, drop it down. 3, 2, 1, drop it down. Remember, this can just be a kickback if you need to. Or you can be down on your knees.
3, 2, 1.
Rest. Woo! That one was tough. All right, push-ups are next. So you can set your weights off to the side. You don't need them for push-ups. Unless you're one of those people that likes to rest their hands on the weights. I don't get that. That feels very uncomfortable to me. Some people like that. You do you. So, hands are gonna go wider than your shoulders. You're gonna bend those elbows. Push it up. We want that elbow to come to chest, or chest to come to elbow height. I might have said that backwards. All right, here we go. Knees or toes. So here's toes. Or come down to your knees and push up from here. So if you're finding that maybe when you're on your toes, you can only come to like here, you barely drop down, then come to your knees. There's no shame in that. No one gets to a point where they're able to do anything without first building up that strength. And that takes time, diligence, and perseverance.
3, 2, 1.
Rest. All right. So next move is going to be isometric hold. If holding it down there the whole time is too much, Just move a little slower instead of holding.
Isometric.
So I'm for sure doing these on my knees because isometric hold is way tougher than moving, in my opinion. Maybe you think it's easier. Agree to disagree. So if you need to move through it, it's gonna look more like this. Just nice and slow. Slowly lowering. Maybe you hold it here for a second. Bring it up. If even this is too much, find a wall. Hold it on the wall. 2, 1. Whew. Legit did not know if I was gonna make it. So high five.
3.
All right, pulses.
Alternate legs.
Remember, you can do 3, 2, 1, up, or stay down the whole time in that pulse. Push-ups are so hard because they work so many muscles in the body. It's not like a bicep curl where you're just working your biceps. You're working your arms, your shoulders, your core. If you're up on your toes, you're working your legs too. This is not easy. Rest. You may meet people that make that move look easy, but it's not, okay? All right, light weights for this next one. So I'm gonna go with 5 pounds. You can go heavier, you can go lighter. Just kind of figure out what is light but still challenging for you. So what we're gonna do, feet are hip distance apart, shoulders up, back down, palms facing in, lift it up, and then palms facing down, lift it to the side. Here we go. Up, side. So it's just a front raise with a side raise. So sometimes with our front raises, I'll have you point your fingertips down, but today, palms are facing in. So it might look a teeny bit different. That's okay. We're working tops of our shoulders right now. So that's why we lower that weight down a little bit.
3, 2, 1.
And rest. All right, you can drop your weights for a second. Shake it out. All right, we're gonna move through it a little bit slower this time. We're gonna hold it up for 5 seconds too before we leave to the next side. So pull it up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly lift it up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly come back to front. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly go to the side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to front. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's probably heavy now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Front. 5, 4. Rest. I know, I started at 5 when there's 2 seconds left. All right. Last set we got of these. It's going to be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Same thing on the side. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pulse it side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh my God. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is really, really hard. Back to front. If you want to get on a different tempo than me, go for it. You don't have to follow me exactly. Just count to 5, front and side.
3,
Woo!
1.
And rest. Whew, hello shoulders. We know where you are. All right. Up next, we have bicep curls. So they're like a regular bicep curl. I'm gonna lower down on my weights. My arms are dying. But it's like a hammer curl, so your palms face in, and you're gonna curl across, bring it down, curl across. So it's like you're tapping your shoulder with the weight, okay? Shoulders up, back, down, core brace, feet are hip distance. 2, 1, go! Man, my forearms are like crazy sore right now. Hey, you're doing awesome. Hang in there. And I want you to pick a weight that's going to be challenging for you right now. So I recognize that my arms were like just unreasonably sore for some reason. Rest. So I dropped down my weights. But maybe your arms feel strong today. They feel ready for some action. Maybe you go up in weights. All right, slow it down. 5, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Try and keep your arm staying right where it is. You're just bending that elbow to lift and lower. So occasionally, you'll want to start doing this, like kind of moving your arm around. Keep that arm in place and make it more of an elbow movement so you can isolate that bicep. Rest. That's the thing with bicep curls. If you move that arm around too much, you can take it out of the bicep and into other parts of the body. We want to isolate that bicep. All right, pulses. 3 pulses and then other side. 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. And you know, if my forearms weren't already sore, I might not notice that this is also a little bit of a forearm exercise. If yours aren't sore, you might not notice either. But they're working, I can tell you that much. Keep breathing through it. Check in with that core.
2, 1.
Rest. You're doing awesome. That was great. We're going to use our chair for the next one. So we're going to be lifting up overhead. So you can decide if you want to lower your weights down a little bit. That's kind of up to you. So the chair is literally here only for balance. So this is a little bit of lower body too, but it really targets those lats good. So you're gonna single leg deadlift. You're gonna open it up and reach overhead. We're gonna stay on one side the whole first time. Here we go. Oh, you have so little faith. So lean it forward, reach it up. If that gets to be too much, having that leg up there, you can always do a single leg deadlift and reach it up. Make it work for you. Don't feel like this is more targeted to the upper body. Rest. You should really feel it right here though, that lat. All right, I'm gonna switch my chair to the other side. We're gonna do the other arm right away. Here we go. Oh, you so little faith. Don't fight it, don't doubt it. Victory is in your veins. Getting tough. Rest. All right, we're doing 4 sets because I want to get 2 on each side. It's the same thing though. If you want to slow it down a little bit, you can. But the main point I want here, so go back to that first arm. Whew. I'm falling over, even with my chair. And chaos. Leaves a little face. Woo, we're almost there. Rest. All right, switch that chair over. We're gonna do that last side one more time. Ready, set, go. This is the last one of these. So really lower it down and then push it up. You should be feeling it right through here. I discovered this during my week sabbatical. Rest. All right, we're gonna go to our next move. We're only gonna do 2 rounds for the next move, only because we just did 4 on that one and I wanna make it evened out. So the next move is upright rows. So those feet are hip distance apart, shoulders up, back down, palms are facing you. You're gonna row it up to about your chest line, a little bit higher if you're pretty confident in your form, but make sure those shoulders are back and down and your core is engaged if you're doing that. Here we go. Row it up, bring it down. So you're leading with those elbows and then dropping it back down. Woo! And this does involve some shoulders, as you can probably tell, so you may have to go a little bit lighter. I chose to stay with my normal weight and see how it goes. But there's no shame in dropping down if you're finding that it's a little too tough. Rest. All right. Second round of these, we're gonna just make a little variation. All that's gonna be is when you lift up, you're also gonna lift your heels. So a little bit more momentum here. So that lift up with that heel is kind of making a little bit of momentum as you lift up. So that was an upright row. These are called high pulls, but as you can see, they're still basically the same movement. This one's just a little jerkier. Make sure those shoulders are back and you're not bringing those shoulders up by your ears. Keep them down low, they're not by your ears. Woo! Rest. Whew. All right. We're gonna move on to the next thing. Our next move is gonna be a bicep curl into an overhead press. So, you're gonna curl it up, lift those palms facing in, push it up, bring it down, curl, push up. If your shoulders are just like needing a break right now, feel free to just do a bicep curl. Otherwise, stick with me with the press, chest curl, or bicep curl, chest press. Palms facing away. So curl it up, press it up. Curl it down. Press it up. So make sure here, it's super important that you check in with your core right now. Fully brace it. And when I'm saying brace, I mean like brace for a gut punch. So it's braced so that if someone did come punch you in the gut right now, that you could take it. It might still hurt a little, but it's not gonna knock you down.
3, 2, 1.
Rest. All right. Second move, we're just gonna slow it down. Again, if you wanna just focus on the biceps and take out the shoulders, you can. All right, count of 3 here. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. I'm not gonna keep counting the whole time. Just make sure you're going at that slower pace. If it helps you to count, you for sure can, but you don't have to. See, even already, I sped up that lowering down. It's hard to slow down. We get going with that momentum. Rest. All right, last round, biceps only. We're taking the shoulders out of it. We're gonna curl it up, and then we're gonna curl halfway, and then curl it all the way up. Here we go. So curl it all the way up, halfway up. Curl it up, halfway up. All the way up, halfway. Dude, I dropped down to a lower weight, and these are still, I'm barely getting them up there. So if it feels tough for you, you're in good company. We want it to be a challenge though, right? We don't want this to feel easy. If it's easy, then what's the point? What are we even doing?
3, 2,
Rest. All right, we've got a little rest here before we do our next move. I'm gonna grab a drink of water, maybe you will too. We've got reverse flies next. So for these flies, feet are hip distance. We're hinged forward, so we're not slouched. Shoulders are back, hinge it forward, core is braced. There's a slight bend in that elbow, squeezing those shoulder blades together. You might want to go a little lower if you have the option. Here we go. So I like to imagine that I'm using my shoulder blades to catch something. So I gotta squeeze them together. Like I'm playing catch with a bird or something weird. He's throwing his eggs to me and I gotta cradle them in my shoulder blades. And then they just, I don't know, drop down gently into a bucket underneath my butt. I don't know, I got a vivid imagination, I guess. Hey, you're exactly where you're meant to be. You're doing exactly what you're meant to do, and you're doing great. All right, round 2 of this one, we're gonna add on to it. We're gonna row up like you're pulling up suitcases to your side, row down, and then fly. Row, fly. Row, fly. So that fly is exactly the same. You're just adding a row in between the flies. Make sure we're breathing here. Check to make sure that those shoulders are still lifted. Think about how you'd walk if you were like super confident, strutting down the runway. You wouldn't slouch, right? That's how I want your shoulders. Rest. Whew. All right, catch your breath. This last one, we're gonna pulse the rows for 3, and then try and hold it up for 3 pulses. If you only get 1, that's okay. Here we go. So let me show you what I mean. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Maybe you don't pulse the fly. That's okay. I'll show it without that. So maybe you're just here and you just pulse your row. That's a great option. I think that's the option I'm going to take because that pulse was not happening for me. It's fun to try, but it doesn't always work out. Rest. Awesome. That was a great job. All right, definitely lower your weights for this next one. I'm going to attempt my 5s, but I have a feeling by the end that I'm going to be down to my 2s. We got a scarecrow. So your arms are up like a goalpost. You're just going to drop them down. Lift them up. If you want to test your balance on this one, you can lift your leg up and hold it there. But guess what? If that's not in your workout today, don't worry about it. Some people might say, you know what? If I tried doing balance on my leg right now, I wouldn't be able to do the arms. Then you stay right here and you focus on those arms. And that is exactly what I want you to do. I don't want you to take the challenging movement just because it's offered and you feel like you have to. Don't should on yourself. It's my favorite new saying, to tell people not to should on themselves. Rest. There is no shoulds here. It's what's best for you. Not what you should or shouldn't do. All right. Same exact thing. One more time. Other leg if you're going to do the balance. Woo! I have started running this week, and this is actually really hard, the balance part, because my ankles are not loving running. I haven't done it really in years. I did sort of a hybrid run like a month ago with my daughter, but this was like a full-on 3-mile run yesterday, 2 miles today, and my body is like, oh, what are you doing? Rest. All right, this last one we're not going to balance. We're just going to focus on our arms because we're going to be here. You're going to pulse it up for 3, bring it down, and then pulse it up for 3. Woo! Shoulders back. That part's important. So don't let those shoulders come forward, right? Keep them back right away when you begin. This is amazing, Grace. Woo! You guys, I'm so proud of you. This is definitely not an easy workout. It's meant to be challenging. It's meant to challenge you. Woo! The faces, I know the faces I'm making aren't pretty. Rest! Woo! All right, you can go a little heavier for the next move. We're gonna do bicep curls while holding our boat pose. So you can opt to just stand and do bicep curls if you're just like, I can't with the boat pose right now. I'll allow it. But if you can, if you're ready for that kind of a challenge, you just come down lean back onto those sit bones. You're gonna kind of park your elbows on your thighs almost. Lean it back, curl it up. So this is level 1 with your feet on the ground and you're just leaning it back. But notice here, my arms are kind of anchored into my body right now. They're not moving besides moving up and down. If you want to take it to the next level, you can go ahead and lift those feet up. If you still want more, if that's not enough for you, straighten the legs with the bicep curl. I'll be honest with you, this already is very challenging. but maybe you can do this. Rest. There's a difference between something being hard and too hard. So if it's just hard, but not too hard, I want you to try it. Here we go. Only you can make that assessment though. I can't tell you what's too hard versus just challenging. I can tell you what's too hard versus challenging for me, but it's personal for each of us. We all have our own unique strengths, weaknesses. Our bodies are built differently. We do different workouts. Woo! We're almost there.
3,
2, 1. All right, this last one, if you can swing it, I want you to kind of pulse the arms. If you're like, Sarah, I can barely do a curl, then just curl it, okay? Here we go. I feel like I'm like shaking my fist at somebody. Shake or wait! Yes! For $19.99, you too can look this cool and have weights that shake for you. Woo! Yes! Over me. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! Guess what that means? We're already on to core. All right, grab yourself a drink real quick before we jump into core. We're going to just do a plank for the first one. So if you ever need to modify a plank, just think about how you modify a push-up. It's the same exact movement. So I'd be here in a modified plank. So you can actually start your plank here and then just push up to your toes. That way, you know your body's in correct alignment. If you just push up to your toes, sometimes our hips end up here. So that's a great tool if you're not sure about your stance. And try to evenly spread the weight among your fingertips. You still breathing? Don't hold your breath. Keep on breathing. You got this. Rest. Wave after wave. All right, side plank. Pick a side. Either side. You can be on your elbows or up on your wrist. Here we go. I prefer my wrist, but you might prefer your elbow. You can drop one knee down as well. If you're just like, I'm feeling extra today, whew, clearly I'm not. You can lift the leg up. I don't dare today. My body is not feeling it. You see that little elbow shake I got going on? You are for us. Woo! We're almost there. 2, 1. Woo! All right, quick flip. We only got 10 seconds in between. So get out, sit up on the other side. Wrist or elbow again. If that bothers your wrist, go down to your elbow. I'll show that real quick what I mean. So this is to be down on your elbow. Otherwise, you're up here. Maybe you want to lift your arm all the way up. Maybe you just need to drop a knee down. If it's too hard right now and you're like, I can't stay up, this is too much, drop that knee down. You have permission. But if it's not too hard and you're just trying to take it easy, then you do not have permission. That knee must come up. Woo! Looking awesome! Rest. Whew. All right, Flip it onto your back. The bottoms of the feet are going to touch. Palms are going to come together. Push it up towards the feet. So you kind of look like a frog. I want you to breathe all the air out of your lungs each time you lift up. So out, in, out, in, out, in. That's how your breathing should be. Rest. All right, next one. Lift those feet up. You're gonna reach up towards those toes with your fingertips. Here we go. Woo. Same thing. When you squeeze up, just let all that air come out of your lungs as you curl your body up. I know this is starting to get tough, but stick with it. You'll be so happy you did. No one ever regretted sticking it out. Rest. Woo! All right, we're gonna drop the legs next. So alternating, dropping those legs down. Here we go. If you can, lift those shoulders off the mat. Make sure we're still breathing. If you stopped breathing, if you're holding your breath, start breathing again. This is our last move, 3 more seconds. Woo! You did a great job. Excellent. We're gonna stretch it out now. I hope that sounds like a good, fun plan to you. Sounds like a good, fun plan to me. All right. I want you to take your hands, place them on your knees, round the back, tuck the chin, and just hold this stretch here. It should feel amazing on your shoulders and upper back because it feels amazing to me. I mean, I'm not you, so I don't know how it feels, but I do know it feels amazing to me. And if no one told you today, I'll tell you again. You are loved and so appreciated. All right. If you have a wall or something that you can push and then turn away from, go for it. We want to stretch out the chest through here. If there's like a door frame around you, that works really well. The main thing is just to push into something and then turn away. And you'll know if you're getting that stretch or not if you feel it through here. And if you are standing, that's just exactly the same as if you're sitting. Don't worry about that part. Okay, we're gonna do the other side. So if you're like me and have to move a little bit to get to the other side, go for it. So push and then turn away. Excellent. All right, pull that arm, stretch it across. This is a great one for kind of loosening up that shoulder and those back muscles. We're kind of just pulling it away from the shoulder here. Plus, I often feel it a little bit. tries to bicep area a little bit too if you pull hard enough. Don't pull too hard. Remember, with stretching, you want to feel a stretch. Like, so it's a teensy bit uncomfortable. Unless it's really tight, then it'll just feel good. Other side, but it should never hurt. If there's ever pain, like a oof, if you get that moment, stop immediately. Stop what you're doing and don't continue, because that was your body's alarm system, essentially letting you know that whatever you just did was not good. It's great that we have that built-in alarm system, right? All right, take one arm up, bend the elbow, and then just kind of pull down on that elbow. If that ever feels like too much, like maybe you have a shoulder issue, you don't have to pull down on the elbow. It obviously intensifies the stretch if you do. So for me, I prefer it when I'm pulling down on the elbow, but obviously if you have any kind of shoulder issue, that might not feel good. Go ahead, switch. Other side, pull down on that elbow. Isn't it great to know that even though the world tells us day in and day out, we need to strive for this, we need to try harder, we need to eat less and work out more, we have to do this and that, that the God of the universe, his answer is so much more simple. All right, I want you to pull back on your fingertips, get a little stretch in that forearm. This is great, especially if you work at a desk with a computer or you're on your phone a lot. This hand, the wrist needs a little good stretch here and there too. Go ahead, other side. It was comforting to me here today. Like, yes, the world still has its effect on me. I still strive, but it was nice to hear from God that I don't have to. I'm choosing to live in that bondage. Push back on those fingertips now. I don't know if you can even tell what I'm doing. The black on black. Other side, push back those fingertips. All right, and we will just close in a quick prayer and then send you on your way. Heavenly Father, thank you so much that you give us such a light yoke to bear, that we don't have to be running around living in bondage, fearing what man thinks of us, that we get to live in a place of freedom, of peace, of joy and mercy when we try and live by your ways and not the ways of the world. Lord, I pray that you would just change our hearts and give us the desire to please you instead of man. And I just pray blessing over each and every person as they go forward with it the rest of their day. I ask all this in Jesus' holy name. Amen.